You know, it's been a while since I've done anything for the Tilt blog, so I thought it was about time. We're getting close to the completion of the film. We're still working on some things. We got a big test screening coming up October 24th for the Film Courage Interactive in Los Angeles. Great opportunity for everyone to come out and take a look at it, see what's going on at this point. We have shown about a half a dozen of our closest friends, and along the way we've been getting a little bit of feedback on what are some of the things that are going on, what needs to happen, what needs to change, how can we make this film better. One issue that came up is we didn't have establishing shots. We were just going from action to action to action to action in the scenes. It wasn't giving people a time to breathe, and we were confusing people on where we were at location-wise in the movie. So what we did is we went back to pick up some establishing shots. We did that in July. The principal shooting had taken place of September last year. Interestingly enough, one of the houses was painted. It had been, when we originally shot, it was a pale yellow, and now it was a gray. As you can see, I got this footage looping behind me over my shoulder, and that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about today is what do you do in a circumstance like that? What happens when something changes? How do you get around that for your movie? So let's discuss that a little bit further as I hop on the computer. Okay, so here we are in Final Cut Pro, and I have my two shots in this. This is just for this tutorial's sake. Here is the original shot in the movie that's in the movie. You can see here that the house is a pale yellow, and this is the situation. Now we're going to come up on the second clip, and here you go, and we have, oh no, it changed colors. So what did I do here? What did I do when I discovered that it changed colors? Why we can do some certain planning for that. The first thing I knew is I knew we were going to have to change the color, so I wanted to make it as easy as possible. So as you can tell, this pickup video is just a static shot. I don't have any movement in here. There's no dollies, there's no pans, there's no anything. It's just a static shot, and I did that for a specific reason. Yeah, there's a little wind, you can see it in the trees and whatnot, but I pretty much did it as a static shot so I could just go in and create a matte. So I'm using 3 programs for this: After Effects, Photoshop, and Final Cut. So I found my new clip here, and then I'm going to go to File, Export, and go to QuickTime Conversion, and I'm going down to my still image, and where I'm going to do that is and then I'm just going to give this the new clip name. So then I can go in and I know that's going to be what I need to change. Now the other thing that I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to bring in the other color. I'm going to have to remember what that other color is and to match it up. So I'm going to do the exact same thing here. I'm just going to do a quick export a still frame of this too. Now I have my 2 clips, and at this point then I'm going to go over to Photoshop. Okay, so now in Photoshop I'm going to go ahead and I am going to open up my new clip, and then in there what I'm going to end up actually doing is just masking it out. So what I always do is kind of make a duplicate, and then I'm actually going to go in, and how I like to do it is just, and there's a million ways to do this, and then there's a lot of people that can do it a lot faster than me. For this crude exercise, I'm just going to quick make a selection around part of the house. Obviously you'd make this a lot more accurate if you're doing it, but just for the simplicity's sake of getting this done, you kind of go around everything so you get the colors matching, blah blah blah. I'll just do a little bit like this so we can get an idea. So from there, now I have, this is going to be my mask. Obviously I'd go in and I'd have to do all of these little guys in between the banners, select it all and whatnot. Here I'm going to create a new layer, and then I'm going to fill that layer with white, or that section with white, and then I'm actually going to go to select my inverse, and then I am going to edit, and I'm going to fill that with black. So now I will have my matte shot for me. So now you're looking at a black and white image. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end up saving this as my new matte clip. And with that, then I'm going to jump into After Effects. And in After Effects here, you're going to see that I have my actual, what I did earlier for the clips that I was actually working on, which is more detailed. I'll go ahead and bring in this matte clip now, and I'm gonna bring in the old color. I already have the new. We already know. I already have my video clip in, so I'm gonna leave this one in here, and then actually I will delete all this so that you can get an idea of what's going on here. So now that I'm here, I'm going to bring my matte in on top of into my composition, and then I'm also going to bring my old color in. I'm picking my old color because now I'm going to need a new solid, and when I pick this solid, I'm going to want to pick a part of the house where I know that it's representative. It's all different light and whatnot. So where I'm going to pick is right here. That's good representation of the old color of the house. And so now I have my new solid, and this is what's going to end up being my house color. I bring that down. You can turn off the old color. Actually, I'll leave it in there so for comparison's sake. And then with your new color, you're going to go to make that a Luma matte. So now you can see that I'm actually, where my matte is now that yellow color. And so then we're going to go into our transfer modes, and you can change that to color, and voila, you can see now that my house is starting to change. You can also see where is if I had my correct mattes where it'd be knocked out, because you can see where this matte is not affected right in here, not in here, but this is all colored. So at this point you can kind of get a sense of where this is going and how it's going to be. One final tweak that you can do during this too, if you go to your opacity, you can actually bring that down, so then you can dial down the intensity of it. There you have the new color of the house, and then we want to bring back that pale yellow, so you can bring it up. Somewhere probably around in this range, the 65% is probably going to be closest to the old color. We can clip back and forth to get an idea of what that's going to be, and that's looking pretty good. Maybe I'm going to just intensify it just a hair, and you're getting kind of getting there. So you can, and with these shots being farther apart, you're going to be able to get by with something like that, and it's pretty easy. So I hope you learned something from this. So one last thing I want to just quick show you. This is what I did for the actual shot. You can see here I have my more detailed, more cut out, and I'm totally going to get by with, look at that. I'm totally going to get by with that because it takes a little while. And those are invisible effects. They're effects that are applied on shots that you'll never notice in the movie. Like if you just saw this establishing shot of the house, you would not know that there was an effect on there just to quickly change the color of the house because of a situation where the house was painted, and we just weren't on top of it early on, which is our fault. Anyways, I hope you learned something. And remember, you can be one of the first people to see Tilt October 24th in Los Angeles at the Film Courage Interactive. Phil's going to be there. I'm going to be there. It'll be a chance to ask questions, learn a little bit more about it, and get some feedback on the film. We'd love to have you there. Hope to see you.